We got a question on Facebook from Carl Taylor. Here's a question for you guys. What is a kilt tartan you own but regret buying? And I could answer first if you guys need a little time to think.
A kilt tartan.
A tartan that we regret owning.
That we regret owning.
So I'll give you guys a second to think. How about I jump in with mine?
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say I regret it because, I can make my own kilts. It doesn't cost me an excessive quantity. I'm also less precious about tartans having so many. The one that I did do that I ended up getting the least use out of and ended up selling, so again, not a lot of skin off of my back, I did the County Antrim crest. And when I did that, I kind of knew this isn't really my color palette. But you know what? I'm going to try something new. I'm going to jump in and wear something that's a little outside my comfort zone. And I wore it a few times. I liked it fine. I just ended up not wearing it much. And like I said, I sold it. Probably got most of my money back given that I didn't spend all that much, being that I can make my own. Okay. So that is the closest I come to that answer.
I'm ready if you're not.
Mine's a lame answer. I should do mine because it's simpler. You're gonna do a story.
I am.
Okay, so let me define. Thompson Gray. I was the first kilt I ever got when I started working here, and I was very new into getting into tartan at the time, and thought it was pretty cool. I liked it, and then after a few years, I looked at it, I was like, yeah, this is really kind of generic. It's like, eh.
It's also a clan tartan. So there's
Is Thompson Gray though?
Thompson. It's Thompson.
Thompson Gray.
Yeah, it's Thompson.
Okay. Anyway, so that's it. Eventually I gave the kilt away because it was all right, but it wasn't really me. Pretty quickly, I realized it wasn't quite what I wanted. So
yeah, I'm going to put thoughts in your mouth. If you can put thoughts in mouth. Here's what Erik meant to say. I have a real answer, and then I have an actual single answer, and then I have my other generic-y kind of answer. When I first started wearing kilts, there was a couple tartans that clan tartans that I would wear that I didn't have an association with. And as I evolved in kilt wearing, I kind of was like, this one doesn't mean anything to me. So I didn't care about it as much because it was a clan tartan that I liked the look of, and I did it for myself and I had it and I wore it. Then I'm like, yeah, but it's not one that I, felt a special, pull towards. Like it didn't speak to my soul. So there's a couple different clan tartans that, I, ended up selling because I made it, I wore it, I liked it for a period. Then I'm like, yeah, but I'm not part of that clan. And it's just, I let it go. And that's kind of what I thought you were going to go with a Thompson. That's why I'm saying putting thoughts in your mouth. Okay. My answer was the Carnegie of Skibo tartan. I had two actually, Isle of Skye kilts. And I'm like, okay, I never thought of myself as a purple guy, but I liked Isle of Skye. And I wore it. And I had a 5-yard and I had a hand-sewn 8-yard kilt in the Isle of Skye tartan. And I'm like, all right, maybe I'm a purple guy. Maybe I just don't know it. So Martin Mills had a universally type tartan called Carnegie of Skibo. It wasn't an actual Carnegie tartan. It was a fashion one. And it had purple in it. It had green. And I'm like, okay, well, if I talked myself into liking it because I liked Isle of Skye so much. So I got it. And I'm like, all right, I'm going to make myself this kilt. And I made the kilt. And I almost wish Mac was in that chair today because Mac remembers this story precisely. I made myself this kilt. And as I'm literally pleat after pleat after pleat, liking it less and less and less. And I got to the end of the kilt and I'm like, I don't really like this. And I ended up putting it on and looking at it in a full length mirror. And I'm like, yeah, I just made myself this kilt and I don't like it. And I took it off and I put my other kilt back on that I was wearing that day. And a customer came into the store and he was like, yeah, I'm looking for a purple tartan. And I looked him up and down and I was like, you're about my size. And I brought it out and sold it the same day I made it for myself and decided I didn't want it. So that is my example, is the Carnegie of Skibo tartan, which I made for myself and immediately sold before I ever actually wore it. For realsies. I tried it on.
That's pretty hysterical.
It is.
all in
It
one
is.
day.
And it is one of those things that like that doesn't happen. It's he just happened to be in the store, happened to be the right size, happened to be looking for a purple kilt.
He was supposed to have that kilt.
He was absolutely supposed
was-
to have that kilt. Absolutely. And I was not. So, yes.
Hi. Rocky said I should just throw this question back at you guys. What's the one tartan you ever got, or thought about getting, or owned that you really hate now? Was that right?
That was
That's
right.
it,
And
Okay.
if you need to replace that one, go to usaykilts.com and buy another one.
That's why you wanted me to ask it. Oh, okay, I get it.